the tempo is
That's
just utterly fantastic. It is
What an old
perfect
video.
play. They slow things down, allow some of those players from Team Heretics to leave after that Steel Garden was used. They tap the plant just to bait out that initiator
Udah telepon lagi,
utility.
Wak.
Then they get back in, post-up, refight. It is
match,
picture perfect Valorant from this team.
All right, big breath here. Hearing from Heretics in press conferences and the like, they're very aware of the sort of second place curse on them right now, but it's kind of not something they want to consider because of the road that still lies ahead of them here through our group stage. But they've said that they're not inexperienced kids anymore. You know what I mean? They feel like the issue more recently for them in that EMEA final where they got blown out by Fnatic was just the mental preparation. In general, they feel like they've got the experience to stay, you know, comfortable, confident at this level. But how do they dig themselves out of this 7-round hole? They've used both their timeouts here. And it's only round 10.
Last year, Heretics, they were the team from EU that really shocked the scene in the offseason. Hopes weren't super high for them. Then they come out swinging. They have a fantastic 2024 with just a crop of all of the upcoming talent. You have Mini Boo saying in that press conference yesterday, we're not the kids we were last year. They are mature now. They've got a mental to try and get them over the finish line.
Maybe they should get off the starters block wire first. Just the one round.
I mean, devastating for either of these teams who are favorites on the group stage to immediately go 0-1.
Malah milih head lagi yang lolosan kalah.
Benji not close enough to
kalah
see.
pasti sih.
So they're pulled out of halls entirely, have Heretics, and again, this is just mostly a Sheriff's round stinger for Miniboo, who hasn't gotten into the game in a meaningful way yet either. Wyatt and PRX are swarming over B.
They just love this anti-eco B slam with Jin getting into the halls with a judge. This time, Boo's out of there. He's not trying to die to that again.
What can Heretics dig up here? Forsaken aware. And he's already seen that Prowler, knows it's coming. Fault line. Thrown out here. No one to catch on to, or perhaps the vice behind him, but Forsaken is confident. The standout player on this PRX roster. Boy, howdy. He's sharp as attack, folks.
He had an unreal run. PRX when they went on that, 5-game win streak. When the train began rolling in the playoffs to qualify, Forsaken was their most lethal player on any role that he had to be thrown on. Just the glue of this team.
I mean, all of them, right?
Anything. I mean, yeah,
all of the roles.
5 different regions in the lower final.
Nice.
Get someone who can do it all. This is going to be a huge amount of pressure. Heretics are feeling, at least those rifles are back, locked down to work with. Cosmic Divide at the ready for Boo.
Playing a 2-2-1 right now, late in this half, slowing things down. They have been at their iconic lightning-fast pace, with devastating executes into these sites. Here they're just waiting out to see if Team Heretics want to go for something more proactive with this breach that they've got. Miniboo is postured in A main right now. Here comes that dimensional drift, so he's going to get spotted. Miniboo is under a lot of pressure at the moment.
He's hoping to fight ahead of it. There might be a safe pocket for something here to just emerge in. I'll call a cancel. Yeah, that might be a little bit audacious, even for PRX. Miniboo tries to hold it off. Bangle Jing is just a little better. The guy is running roughshod over the defenders. And Benji's going to get caught on a timing, most likely. Forsaken just rips him a new one. Who again, hands out wide, says, what do you want me to do?
3 players are spotted by the dimensional drift from something. He still gets out of it in secret. Jeez. 3 players, yeah, let's just hit the site with our 4 now. They really said, nah, I'd win. they do not slow the game down there. That's just crazy.
Bantai Wak ini Wak.
But all 5 of them are so on point. The guts, the confidence for something to get out there is crazy. And they follow up. Team Heretics, they are divided. They're losing 1v1s. Jing getting that crucial opening kill for the team to get into that site.
We are sleeping, mate. We are sleeping.
Sleeping, says Neilzinho. The last time these two teams played, it was PRX that mathematically eliminated Heretics from Madrid last year. They said the emotions got the better of them. But now they're sleeping. Maybe they could use some of those. Jing pops himself up. It's the showstopper that's avoided for the most part. Just the already clone there in A main. So eyes turn towards Lincoln Art.
Does get some valuable information, even though it's unfortunate that that rocket was not able to get any value for the PaperX side. They had their eyes on mid, no pressure coming from Heretics there, so they're going to go back to this B pivot. So many rounds for them. They've had the ability to hit this side with just one player anchoring opportunity for Benji, but knows he certainly can't go for more, just has to back off. He tries to anchor, he knows he's going to get overwhelmed by Yucho, but in fact, PaperX, they're just going to use two ultimates, that very safe Cosmic Divide to allow the free plants.
And they can fall back off this. We can go back to, though it's uncharacteristic, the post-plant spam set up for PRX, but they're more likely to play ahead of it. Now, this is a wrinkle in the plan. The lockdown will allow Heretics to potentially filter in here, but something... well, they got rid of their lockdown, never mind. Something's happy to wait and bide his time here.
Patman going to double up with him as well. Something wants to get some early spam.
All this huge team not opening the side up enough. Minigo's going to go for it. He's able to find two. And Heretics have looked this game.
Wow,
easy
one.
Not even close to enough.
The fundamentals are just fantastic. Patman getting back into holes to double up with something. Multiple players swinging through the Cosmic Divide that was thrown down. Just decimating Heretics on their re-entry.
Well, we're here for a good time, not a long time apparently, folks. That is a brutal first half for Heretics. We'll be back after a short break. Collect yourselves. We'll return to this matchup of Masters Toronto.
Pasang baru ya? Apa? Itu baru.
Exceptional and unique gameplay.
The words of Coach Nilzinho, Heretics have been sleeping for that first half. Hopefully, 11-1 rings to the tune of the alarm clock that gets them back in this game. Midabu's already gotten his way onto this A site now, tapped up a little bit, and PRX have not quite shown themselves yet. Something lurks amongst the shadows. That's a bloody good timing, at least for one. Divide, what a shot! Boo just runs into it.
Ya.
Who can deal with him at least?
Lari, Jok.
Player advantage for PRX though.
That is a late swing, but a crucial kill from Wu. Benji, can he catch a timing? He would have to be the one for Heretics right now to save them, to get this pistol round, keep them in the game.
Looks good. Jing, however, reaching around the corner. It's a very low health Woot that's able to dispatch him. Now we've got a God's Honest 2 versus 2, and here's Forsaken, gets the spike loose. It's up to Benji. Prowler, play from behind it. Patman sees his quarry. Not quite ready to finish the job. 35 seconds left in the round. Patman holds his ground.
Si bro.
A diabolical start to the second half.
Patman. 2 kali.
Might already be over.
He's won both pistols for this team. Obviously, Heretics are going to have to come into this with a tragic force. Hope that they can look like G2 with some stingers, maybe. This is stunning from PRX.
Clean finish off. Brimming with confidence. Forsaken is loving it.
Just doing the little things right. There's something with the confidence to push out of that smoke with the guys being pressured. They fight together. The fundamentals are just so clean right now. What a joy this is to see PRX in prime form.
Round number
White
14.
hot.
That could be the last of the game, but there is a stack on the B side. Patman, though, takes that one for the team. Forsaken finds his, and then PRX realizes action elsewhere. We've got Jing's going to start filtering up through connector. He may see the second wave here from Heretics Cross.
He's going to try to swing out. He will. Gets the first shot down and double swing. Forsaken
Woo!
puts it on. Mini boot caught on the lurk. And it's the IGL, the big brother of the team.
In the unenviable position of having to salvage an impossible situation for his team. This would be one of the nastiest losses that Heretics have suffered in quite some time. Boo here's going to try and go to work with him, but Divine shuts the book on this first map. What a way to make a statement here in Toronto. PRX are back.
Find me one person that printed a 13-1 on Pearl for PRX. I mean, if they did, time for the lottery. Time for the lottery. What a showing.
Unreal.
Stunning from PRX.
Coba tanya. Kenapa dia nonton ya? Siapa ya? Nice, seru. Kita baru. Mau ngapain ya tadi ya? Mau ngapain aku ya? Torok tunggu sebentar. Alah ya hitung-hitungan itu, aduh. Kalah ya. Flash kalah cok, dibantai cok. Oh my god, flash. Dibantai RSG cok, dibantai timnya ini. Ini siapa aja? Oh, betul gitu. Oke. Super Pearl, tapi belum main Neon. Seru. Lihat. Kayak itu yang ini ya. Kevin Suwanto. Apa namanya dah? Saya nggak tahu waktu itu yang ini ya. Cuma nggak bisa komen. Gigi Jason. Ini Gigi Jason loh. Gigi Alvin. Gimana dia? Oh dia nutupin gitu tetap ya. SV. Mantap nih lah, Vin, dengerin Vin. Kita dulu lah.
Bu.
Gila, ada gini-gini juga.
Lawan T1 bro, pemenang Master Bangkok 13 duluan ya.
Ada si ini sampai sini.
I mean, 13-1. How on earth did you guys manage to pull that off?
I have no idea, to be honest. I think everyone's just on fire, so we're very happy to be here. We're very excited to play, and we're gonna make the most of it.
It seems like your Pearl is stronger compared to how it looked like and that you didn't like about how, you know, Pearl went.
No, I mean,
Justru lagi mode apa
I
nih?
can't complain at
Mode
all.
cari cewek,
Impeccable,
guys.
right?
Minimal.
When it comes to Batman, seems like he's not nervous.
Mode
you know,
cari
it
cewek
didn't
dia.
look like it was his debut.
Bang, apa
and
player
it
bisa
seemed like
main
he was
alias
enjoying it,
RRQ?
so, you know, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think most rookies actually play very well on their first time, so it's not. It's pretty much more of the same.
Melek.
And Icebox is going to look as strong as Pearl.
final
Sorry?
kontennya RRQ
Icebox
dari.
is going to look as strong as your Pearl.
I hope so.
Hah?
Can't wait to see
Yeah,
it. Thank
betul.
you.
Thank you.
A happy Alex. I could get used to this.
Yeah, I mean, look, that one round, they need to clean up, you know, figure that out, but everything else was looking good, no?
They are looking good. Almost too good, Mel. Maybe Heritage just didn't
Tiga
manage to
satu
get into the
delapan
game.
lima.
Yeah, I mean, Paper Rex just
Apa
had so
artinya,
much
guys?
momentum. And, I mean, he was
3185.
talking about Patman and the way he on the
EIBH.
stage, and it's like, he won two
Apes.
very crucial 1v1s, and
Deeps.
to bring that to the 13-1, so I'm very much
Apes.
impressed. I think we were all, you know, kind of
Deeps.
leaning towards Paper Rex here, but to expect that level of dominance, I mean, even Alex was like, wow, like, what is happening?
The train has a true
Baca Cok, pakai kuning Cok.
Gantilah buat
but it's time
party.
for our Verizon
Gak
Live
ada aku
moment.
lagi
And
Pio,
this one
buatin
goes
lah.
to Paper X's
Oke, ntar
pistol round,
pakai
the first pistol round.
They started off beautifully here. It's pistol round, and already, Paper X just going
Jason badannya udah mulai ini ya kelihatan keren.
to be working for this early
Lagi.
mid space.
Kenapa nih kok
and
mati?
also some of the aggressive plays from Forsaken. Initially, they're just working over into this connector
Good
area.
end,
And they're
Jason.
playing this round out without any sort of wall
Yeah.
coming in from their buys. So right now, they're a little bit concerned
Kenapa?
as they run in.
Katanya badan lu yang paling bagus tuh. Kata mau Kevin.
Oh iya, kalau
They're
dari
gonna give
keseluruhan
this
aku, cuman
killjoy
kalau
turret on A. And start realizing,
dia
hey,
itu
there
menang
could be
di
players coming in
shoulder
around the sides. They
bicepsnya.
call to move into this
Kalau
spot.
aku-
Kalau
Vin.
kalau ke aku
towards A.
keseluruhan
And
lebih
it's gonna
bagus.
be interesting because
Kalau
they
dibandingin
don't actually
keseluruhan.
run into anyone playing up forward in A main. So this is
Kenapa?
about the time where Paper
Oh,
X
Jer.
have to decide. Okay, do we
Oke.
just play the
Jadi
flank, do we
sini.
play the post play, do we turn around and fight
Dia
these flankers?
jarang
I think
aja.
if you look at pass iterations of
Jadi,
Paper X, they'd be looking for the fights
kempes
against those
naik,
people
kempes naik.
coming in
Tinggi dia
along the flank. But
170-an.
instead, this time, they try to hunt away the
Aku
solo side anchor,
168.
find out where the killjoy is. This fight over into back sight, as soon as the smoke comes down, you've got a Yoru flash going into the ground that's going to flash out anyone playing back.
Ntar pakai AI.
But they
Boleh
don't
dah.
just stop there.
Ajarin dong
Right,
gimana
Paper X keep
caranya.
walking forward 'cause
Kalau
they
bisa
know
pakai AI aku
there's
mau
more.
juga. Diajarin makanya.
multiple players coming in either through art or through A main. So they're going to keep fighting forward until they can find the kill. This is where things get a little bit awkward. They leave this solo anchor back there in towards Secret. Devi's able to find one kill. And at the same time, Forsaken gets another kill in towards Flower. So they make the decision, actually, we see all those players on A. Let's just sprint over towards the A side.
di pause dari sana. Ini aku kira ini buffering dia aku,
So that
Cok.
actually encourages Forsaken to stick around. He plays this very aggressive line, trades that kill out, and he was doing this consistently throughout the game. His Astra was so aggressive once they fell down into numbers. They end up pushing forward, going for these two players coming on the flank on the other side, but Patman and Forsaken play things beautifully to close out this round and get the ball rolling in what was a complete storm.
And Mel, this is the definition of growth, right? When it comes to the way that PRX are now playing compared to
Bagus
a
banget ya
couple years
sekarang
ago.
analisisnya tuh dia tuh ngejelasin segala-galanya gitu kayak detail gitu dikasih map.
Especially on a pistol ever, and that was insane. And also probably the most running we saw of the entire map, actually.
Yeah, they were making so many decisions on the fly, right? Because that first fake spike tap, they're saying, okay, if we tap this, there could be like 4 people flooding out from Flower. As soon as they don't see that, they know that there's going to be a lot of players coming in on the flank.
Well, we've heard from Coach Alex. Let's hear from Coach Neilzinho ahead of map 2.
Hello, it's Jen with Coach Neilzinho. Now, Neilzinho, not an ideal start. What do you think happened?
I think it was honestly an embarrassing performance. Like we were behind them at every single step of the way. Individually, we were off. Macro-wise, wasn't great. We just couldn't get anything going. There was a couple of rounds that we were in it, but honestly, we were just completely outclassed. So we just need to wake up immensely for the next 2 maps, you know? Yeah, we need to bring our A game, and that was nowhere near it. So.
Iya, ini pakai yang
Earlier
John
today,
ya.
Boo mentioned the importance of having a stronger mentality and how it's something that you guys been working on for years, right? So, and now would be the time to demonstrate that growth. How do you think the guys are doing? What did you tell the players to make sure that they could mentally reset?
I mean, this game, it just felt like we were so scared to... We were playing to not lose, basically, and we just were terrified to make a mistake. So, again, we've just given them complete freedom. They've been here before. We've turned around things fast before. We need to do it even quicker. Confidence, because they need to really believe how good they are. And right now, in that last performance, they didn't show it, but we've got 2 new maps now. We forgot about the last one. We got completely outplayed. It is what it is. We go next.
Right, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
And it is fortunate
Oh,
that the map
Icebox.
we will be
Let's
seeing
go,
next
let's go.
will be Icebox. This is where,
Coba.
Ender, we expect a different performance from Heretics.
They've got to, right? And the player I am looking at is Miniboo, because that map 1 was
Let's
quiet
go
on the
to-
Yoru, but on Icebox, bro is like the only guy that is playing Neon, and he is so clean on it. I love seeing what he can play. I am a big believer that this team rides or dies by
Bajuku yang baru apa enggak?
performance, and he has to show up.
Would you like to see them stick with the comp that they ran, through stage 1, which we're about to see here?
I think so, personally, considering they've had a lot of success with it, and we did just see them play Pearl with changing their comp, going into the more double innie.
He's by Miniboo's individual performance, and he has to show
Enggak
up.
Would
beda,
you
ini yang
like to see them
kayak
stick
merah ya,
with
ini
the comp
pink
that they
soalnya.
ran, through stage 1, which we're about to see here?
I think so, personally, considering they've had a lot of success with it. Be the leader for his team, mechanically in the stats, and just go on
Ian siya
top.
main itu lagi dia.
And I think
Gak
it works
main
for
apa?
them too, having double
Gak main
initiator,
Tejo
so
jadinya.
get him to find more forward fights as well. Fight through Viper
Main
walls, fight
Tejo
through
lagi dia.
smokes, take control over backside,
Enggak,
fight towards
Opik masih
Snowman
itu ya.
on B. You have to get active
Neon.
versus PRX, I think, because their util combos honestly were looking so good.
And I think a big part of this too is the fact that Team Heretics is starting on attack this time as opposed to defense. They can send the hits, they can get in their face. and
Banyak
that's
orang
something
kayak orang
different
Asianya gitu
the
tuh.
virtue of having the last map.
Well, they wanted this rematch. They got to turn up on this stage. Otherwise, Uber and Wyatt, PRX are going to walk away with a clean 2-0.
We expected a banger of a match. I think a quick 2-0 definitely wouldn't have been on our bingo card today.
2-0 langsung lah PRX gaskan. Samnain.
From Heretics against a team like PRX, you cannot afford to start slow in a match like this.
Before this game, Benji Fishy had said he wants to play against PRX, and
He got his wish.
He got his wish. He might be regretting that, but we are heading to a map pick.
Oh.
Heretics have looked really good with this Neon.
Anjir, buta ada.
PRX on the defense side, they absolutely want to brawl. Heretics though have to be ready for it. But how? How do you stand against this avalanche of defenders.
What the fuck?
Wood is going to limp away from that early encounter.
Buta apa semua dia pecat, Cok.
Has to cross the mid that Davai has on lock.
Nice, let's go.
Davai had been patiently waiting on that angle anyhow. Nice little 10-second round coming through to open this game. PRX yet to lose a pistol. Heretics yet to gain an ounce of momentum.
Anjir, something buta pun. Oh, bertiga, ada berdua.
Cohesion in these firefights to the very limit.
Anjir.
What we saw there, frankly, is classic PRX on this map. They play standard stuff, but they play defense in a far more proactive way than most of the teams in the current
iya, juga ada
meta.
putihnya di kerahnya ya.
Play a lot of safe positions, then go for retakes. They are constantly doing 4-man, 3-man pushes down, you know, A main, down B main. Heretics are going to need to be very concerned with that.
Inching now over towards the speed side of the map. See something back up here to bolster this B presence.
Neon na misi masih agak bahaya nih, aksi-aksi.
Definitely indicates they intend to head this way momentarily. Looks like already the Dizzy is trying to scout the way.
Dizzy juga bisa prospek nih. Why?
Neon composition. It's going to be tough to find a foothold though. With something takes his and gets off the line.
Fair amount of damage done though. Now it's something with the rifle. May want to toss that over to Forsaken or Divine.
Mati nanti.
Up, and it looks like that's going to be the case.
Nice.
Much healthier, full armored Divine will.
Nice gitu loh.
Dia ngelempar. Pivot back towards mid. With this Neon, they like to go for a lot of B splits. A lot of fast pace.
Nice Davai.
Davai here.
Ow!
Multiple angles can operate here, can play off the turret, take contact.
Boleh habis mamam ya.
Here's something, says, oh, am I right? And there it is. Another quick round as PRX give an inch.
Maintain all the rifles, just lose one of the pistols. Basically as good as it gets. Heretics invested nothing so they can get the absolute max here.
Oi!
The round they did actually win on Pearl was an anti-bonus.
That's pretty risky stuff. Something there.
Punya habis anjing. Lihat itu.
PRX fans will be very familiar with that.
Let's go!
Now, of course,
PRX. Let's go.
Heretics rather.
Second mode ini lah, mode berisik kah?
PRX have 3 players B main, time to walk right at the attacking team, as they always do. Heretics, they're patient, they're waiting, but they're losing the duels from Rienz though.
Little one-way, something tries to put together on a dime, but Rienz is a little quicker. Now we'll remove the presence from mid. As Forsaken starts to take advantage with his spaces given up, there will be a turret to spot him out. Patman with the Bulldog. Stacked up here alongside Jing. Does the bite match the bark for PRX on his B side?
Now when Minibu is alive, they love to go for a bolt in tandem with a recon to take back Yellow, but without him it's going to be much tougher. Patman wants to fight this, but the Dizzy connects
Macey's not going to keep off that live at all. High wingman, he needs to get ahead of it though. Through the smoke. Still, PRX come down too. He's Forsaken with the Bucky.
Last player standing.
It's all going to be on Divine now. Benji and Woot. Arms to the teeth. No plant just yet. No wingman to get it done for free.
They want to slow this down.
30
catch
seconds
Divide. He's pushing, but he's speaking out, and wow, he gets another.
Oke lah ya, nggak apa-apa lah ya, nanti lah ya.
They convert the anti-bonus
Nice
as they did on Pearl, but they escape with only 1 gun. That is devastating for their economy.
Although the spacing looks better, trading into that B side of the map, they sustain casualties to do so. But perhaps they're starting to get a feel for that up-tempo style. The PRX are trying to throw at them defensively.
You can see that they were waiting. Minibu was just chilling on that angle, but didn't win the duel. Now, Chrissy called it out on desk that Minibu does need to step up. He has given so much util on this map to thrive when they're on attack. He needs to come to life.
Something already wants to assert itself as the Owl drone starts to make a foray on the B side. It's like Patman wants to play safe for the time being. It's something with an outlaw this round.
Posts up on that deep A line. Wants to go even further off the drone that Forsaken is sent for him. Does actually spot out Boo.
One way will be refreshed. Give Patman the edge, but it's going to be a dizzy on out. Patman already on the spray.
Gila.
Heretics slowed up somewhat on their way over towards this B side of the map, but now that Viper Wall is something they can play from behind. Nano Swarm's triggered. Cover.
That was a great way to fight that from Team Heretics.
Ulti.
Multiple players jumping out to face together off of that dizzy when the crosshair would be thrown to break it by a defender. Something now posted up at mid. You can see PRX on the rotates getting towards this B side. Will Benji catch the timing?
He's got a player though coming from his left. He might not be ready for the two push.
Nice.
And there it is. Once again, PRX give as good as they get.
Nice.
Rifle upgrade for
Ulti wood anjing ni. Ih! Mas banget per second sumpah.
Tremendous damage. It's going to force out the Thrash. Can it actually get a connection? And even if it does, can anyone get a kill off of it? No.
Ih! Per second.
PRX, but here is Forsaken with the
Ya Allah.
Jing wants to try and push up. Wood is very, very low, but there's still a spike to defend now. Heretics just going to try and hang on here. Hold on against this relentless onslaught.
Nice.
5 racks on yellow.
Oof.
And Wood just has nowhere to go.
PRX on this map are just so oppressive. They're taking so much forward space, and they're so happy to make fast, bold defensive pivots off of that information to stack proper sites. This was a great moment for Team Heretics that we highlighted.
Anjir dia gini langsung.
Except Forsaken
Udah,
coming back
Forsaken.
in with
Bangsat.
spots Odin.
One enemy remaining.
Heretics at least tried to manipulate the pace, or at least dictate it to some degree, but
Nope.
PRX are always asking for more, always trying to assume some of that real estate, that mid-push that catches Benji out. Eventually, Forsaken steps up on yellow. Heretics are going to be on the clock every single attack side round.
And here we go, 3 players ready to fight from PRX towards A, and they find another first blood.
And it's Mini Boo down at the start of the round again. Wyatt, something, he's on the line, able to get back, and he knows there's more where that came from, the shorty. God, he's thirsty.
Sabar gini, Cok.
It is up to Boo, as it often is. Again, this will be PRX with another stunning start to the game.
Anjir,
By the
PRX.
way, as a team,
Terlalu gila, Wak.
has an 83% attack side win rate on Ice Watch, so God forbid we get to that part of the map and they're ahead.
Now, even at this juncture in the game,
Sumpah
they
Storm
beat
habis.
Team Heretics
Gak salah ya WC mereka lolos ya. Bantai-bantai lagi. Ini soalnya mereka mainnya gini, Cok, mainnya.
That pivotal gun round was unfortunately lost for them.
One enemy remaining.
The economy for PRX getting out of control, and Heretics, they have opted to go for another early timeout here. You certainly can't blame them. Neil needs to get these guys' heads back in the game. I mean, back in for the first time.
You know, some players, they talk about how things slow down when they get into the server, right? Feels like you're walking through molasses, time slows. I feel like against PRX, it's the opposite. These guys set those phases to warp feed and make it very, very hard to stand on even footing at this pace of play. And Heretics have been that kind of team that have wanted to dictate said pace, right? They play me on this map, for God's sake. They want to make these fast rotates, take that mid control, be the ones that forces you to be reactive, but they have never, in this series so far, been in that position.
When they've gotten dominant wins in their run in EU, it has come from being relentless with that pace, by disrupting the defenders with the Neon. But you can see that they've gone into this with as they intend, because they know that PRX are just going to be sending it at them on defense. So they're not getting off to those fast, aggressive starts that they want to. They're not able to claim that space early. Forced to use a lot of utility to try to re-clear late, and most of these rounds, they're just losing the opening tools. Neil said on map 1, but they did not bring their A game. In fact, they were nowhere near it. Only 2 rounds to their name at this point across this series.
Okay, now no turret to play off of in kitchen. Nice little lineup.
Bisa gitu masuknya.
And already those one-ways being set up.
Wow banget.
Will allow Patman occasionally to swing on them, and he hears DC come out, so he knows there's the pitter-patter, a little Heretics footsteps on this B side of the map. Device been drawn over in that direction to assist. The curry spot, okay. Not too shabby, my friend.
Nice.
Holds it down admirably. That is definitely going to throw a wrench in the works for PRX, and now that lockdown will allow Devi to at least get some space.
Ya Allah, Devi gak lihat, Cok.
Caught by the players who were able to just
Oh, mereka pikir kabur musuhnya.
down circle, play in the corner. Credit to Benji Fishing, he just wins it out straight up. 2 for 1. And then Patman was trying to anchor back yellow, but that's a position that you really can't be in alone against Team Heretics.
Jing has got very little to see.
Wah, sumpah gara-gara itu, Cok.
Yeah, likely just to try and walk away from this one with weapon intact, even though there's enough currency here
sumpah.
to continue to take some risks.
Ke kiri semua tadi Davai. Kanan,
Not like
dulu
his
mati.
That anti-eco flawless they had earlier has put them in an excellent economic position. But like you said, might as well just save, keep the cash rolling for PRX even in this round loss. I think Patman is realized on this one that trying to anchor back yellow solo against the way the Team Heretics like to fight towards B is not going to be the right choice. They send too much util back there. It's tough to deal with the Neon.
But Benji's ready for this inevitable mid-push. And I think Divide does not account for the pocket that's left in the corner of that A side by the lockdown. He sort of doesn't check this at all.
My ult is ready.
I know.
Riens, I think it would
Guys,
have
already, guys, we're double the rounds from last map.
It's a positive.
Guys got that quick math.
They'll take it. They'll take it. I mean, for a team like Heretics who are just filled with talented, mechanical shooters, that's the first time any of them have really gotten a highlight-worthy play. Credit to Benji.
Fury now from
Benji.
Riens. Speculative.
Benji.
Doesn't yield any information
TP
whatsoever.
langsung ya, Jing.
They are aware, of course, that the Odin is in attendance today.
And those would be positions that PRX would typically love to just play into, but it's actually towards B where they've gone full aggro, something posted up close with Patman, and that's allowing the rest of their squad to be pretty steadfast towards this A site. Odin is going to be obnoxious to deal with.
But no one was watching pipes at the time. Mistaken actually gets back.
This could get dangerous, but now that the lockdown is used,
Wah, semuanya!
is going to need to be expended to break it, unless they just intend on getting out of here, which is going to be the case.
Oh, the Shocky does not hit. Well, that lockdown will be intact. And now Heretics able to make use of that to get entrenched here at this A side.
And they're going to want to use this Hunter's Fury with the Paranoia to get back in. This is fast. This is pacey from PRX.
Here comes the Hunter's Fury, belated as it is, but it's going to be Jing going to work with him. He's gotten in and under
Wait,
rafters. Something at a time.
no,
Again, it's Benji that answers that late round lurk. Wu deals with Forsaken. Jing gets his cap. He was already able to find these first 2 kills. But to expect him to make it 5, even for him, might be a little bit too much. Wu with the shoulder pick, shot through the knee, still an adventurer, though. Boo and Benji happy just to stay entrenched. A hard fought round here for Heretics.
Yeah.
Finally! PRX train is forced to throw the brakes on.
Wu beginning to hit some shots. I'm going to need to see that Benji one on the replay from his point of view, please. That looked ridiculous. Something on the updraft. The blade storm just plucked out of the air. All right, Heretics heating up a little bit individually. Ooh. That's crazy. That is a mental shot from Benji, who is starting to hit.
Still cranking 90. Good to see.
PRX, they're on defense. They do display something that they are typically very good at, which is very, very quick floods with excellent utility. Now here, more classic PRX, 4-man push up towards this A side, getting all of the space, collecting
wake up, bang.
They post someone up and immediately go stack the other side. This is the name of the game for them on this map.
Once again, though, it's just going to be Divide B for now. Having one away from that.
Aduh, mulai dah. Dah nyala nih aimnya aim, Jo. Nice. Astaga, Benji VC! Benji VC!
That's 3? Caught by the Paranoia, forced to give him some ground, but now the youngster has some wind in his sails. Right, Wingman is going to be thwarted in his plant attempt, but the Thrash is going to go ahead now to pave the way. Surely Jing spotted now, detained. He's got Divide to watch him. Relay Bomb comes in, a mini boo with the slide across.
Oh my god!
Finally turning up to play.
Stunned just in case he starts throwing hands without his gun, I guess. Why not? All right, Benji's heating up. It looks like he's playing an aim trainer. Just has guys from all different angles swinging onto him. That awareness to catch the second that was coming out of A was so nice. And that is a read on a typical PRX.
Anjing, marah besar Benji VC.
There's going to be someone that's pushed up in A main.
4-2 is Heretics' Icebox record.
Marah besar, Wak, Benji VC, Wak.
5 out of 7 of their map losses in EMEA, Stage 1, including playoffs, went to Fnatic.
When you watch them play against any other team in EU on this run, they look like world beaters. But Fnatic have just had their number. they've been able to really counter the way that they're playing. PRX, early on they were countering it, but in a totally different way than how Fnatic actually opted to.
Very proud to debut our new reinforced tungsten carbide 1088 steel tables just for this occasion. I tried to elbow drop wide into it. It held. So good luck, Alex, breaking this one.
I hit a moonsault on Van Silly. He didn't even go through it.
Hit a wall to Jericho. Nothing. And again, first time in this whole series that PRX have been put in a position to have to call this timeout. They've been struggling a little bit to hold on to B. Even though they're refreshing that one way over at the containers, still being overwhelmed.
How will PRX adjust out of this? They're going to be on a half buy here, to the extent that they can at least get a hero rifle over to Jing, who obviously has been playing very well. Some highlight moments already, especially on that raise back on Pearl. But this is one of the maps where he's not playing raise. It's just not what they like to do. They just love this very standard comp, and they've had a lot of success with it.
Benji so far has been feasting, playing that mid. That's where so many of those kills have originated from. PRX is not respecting Heretics there. I think they've now been forced to bend the knee somewhat.
With this Viper's pit down, that's a fairly big commitment here. You do have Patman with that close range stinger to try and find an opener, shut down and execute if it comes in, and you're just expecting from Team Heretics at some point, if they intend on getting into this pit, which certainly looks like they're going to do, you're waiting for Riens to use this owl drone, clear things out.
Jing with the hero rifle will watch the mid pivot, but yep, there's going to be action over here towards the pit.
Oh my god! Mati Batman, Cok.
Tries to outfox the owl drone.
I respect it. I respect the attempt.
Devi gets up on that line pretty quick. Miniboo, who's been quiet in this series and in this map as well, just needs to be a bit of a nuisance. Remains at large here over the site. And Snakebite's going to make it hard to play in from
bangun, Cok. Ini tehnya.
The hero rifle is still in play. Jing might try and wager it for something here. We'll take a pretty prescribed location, one that's going to be watched for at the back of the site. Heretics have seen enough. It's up to Jing to get himself some value off this round potentially, but once more, he will be sorely outgunned, outnumbered. And done by Benji. Flawless round here for Team Heretics. Finally steering the ship with the wind.
They're going to have an opportunity now as well.
Or is all they got.
Just one away. Batman trying to time that. Hey, I'm not mad at it. He's got the stinger. On an eco round. Go for it. But he is caught out. And you can just see from Miniboo's point of view there, hitting this A site, how many options he has playing the Neon. Getting into so many unexpected, unorthodox positions there can be incredibly effective.
So something's taken up the op now.
And that is the adjustment that was certainly called on that timeout from the prior round. Wants to post up towards mid. Doubled up with Jing. A bit of protection for him.
Turret just got cleared. Looks like the go signal there for Heretics on the B side. They've just indulged in a surge forward here at B.
And their main intention was to get that or get the lockdown. Recon is sent in to clear out yellow from Riens. Fast lane, pretending, hey, we are getting that position back. Yellow shocks as well, and now we're going to slowly get back. Spike has just been over there with time, but this is the danger. Something has been waiting for this cross.
On a very tight line.
Nice!
Rien's trying to cross, dealt with. Something wants to repost the line, but very quickly, Heretics all got across to A. And he's going to know that in a couple of seconds.
And look at PRX, they're already rotating off this B site. They have Patman, Deep Yellow, and the other two players are making their way to A with some haste. So they tried to flood in. They might. Nah, not with that lockdown, though. Certainly going to be kept at bay.
I don't think PRX have the mechanism with which to remove that, so they're going to have to respect and pull off the site. That early rotate now kind of nullified. We're going to get a plant down. Heretics look to dig in here and anchor.
And it looks like they want to come right back in. Recon, Paranoia, here come PRX.
Heretics Viper's pit now to play with Woot. Ensconced safely within the poison walls. Here's the Saken sees this easy come his way. Happy to spam through. Eventually PRX are going to have to commit. Woot has been dealt with. The Viper though, spawning the pit still at large. Jing wants to get past this now. Spam in Boo's direction.
Nice.
Miniboo though dealt with. Patman is in here, sees the Viper, and there it is. The wall comes down, as does the curtain on Heretics in this round. Boo with a parting gift, but that's all that Heretics can muster.
Overwhelmed by the numbers, no real positions, deep sight. PRX are just able to get right back in for free and overwhelm everyone in that pit. It's somebody getting that opening kill, and then Spam connects on to Woot. Cooked from there.
You see how much PRX invest in getting that midline held. They send Jing with something. And then whichever way you slice it, whichever way they rotate, something is going to see someone.
Benji Fishy is actually picking up this attack operator, and it makes sense with the way that PRX play. Exploit their aggression, allow them to make their way into the angle that you're holding to get kill. Keep the game slowed down.
Alarm bot out.
Benji here to very passive lane. He's just watching for the tube push down. That's not the plan for PRX this round, apparently. Once again, it's the one way being set up by Jing for the sake of Patman, the solo B player right now.
Deploying drone. Orb taken by Forsaken into the deep drone on A. We have read this story before. The PRX just some of their players more towards that B side. Patman feels the need to retreat, at least temporarily. Recon for back yellow yet again. Here comes that Dizzy. Team Heretics making their way in, claiming this space.
At some point they had to disrespect the one way, they had to get moving. So Heretics now have that yellow control. Benji's still waiting for mid. He might not get anything with that up here.
Team Heretics, they do need to wait for this wall to come back up. Oh my god, PRX, they just want to go in off the paranoia with a recon.
Looking for their own timing, marching to the beat of their own drum.
Ya Allah.
There to shut him down. Devi's able to find his two. And Benji's not in a hurry to get involved. Heretics have done well to trade up on this B side. This has drawn something in Forsaken across the map. We're going to have an advantage attack side post plant.
This is looking highly awkward towards mid. Forsaken left on an island towards B, just wants to slowly maneuver forward. Busha
Correction.
get this kill. What a snappy shot!
Now, have to deal with Woot, tucked in corner by yellow. Doesn't want to give himself up, but Forsaken. Here comes the thrash. Something Nosy now needs to gain some altitude, but finally Benji is rewarded for his patience in the round.
That lurking operator comes in at the very end. The final hour. That was interesting. That they go for this attempt before there's any effort to actually get the spike down. The wingman wasn't planting. It wasn't really a push forward. They just tried to catch on timing. It does not work out. We're finally seeing
I guess
the Alex that we know.
The question is, like, what is the cue that PRX are playing off of there? If they're just trying to manufacture a timing of their own, it doesn't work out because Wood has a really nice mosh pit.
Now here's some pace from Team Heretics, getting that neon back yellow quickly. They know Patman could be in this poison cloud, so some shocks going in there, but they don't actually connect any damage, but forced to retreat.
Definitely a bigger commitment to the B side by PRX in this round. Hunter's Fury, lockdown, both available here in the last round of the half for the defenders. So behind the Viper's pit, here come Heretics. They are really looking to take some snowman space potentially here. Wyatt, timing doesn't pay off once more. Hunter's Fury now for Forsaken. Gets a tap on Benji, still no plant yet.
Right here. That Hunter's Fury just used a little bit late. Boo has gotten his way all the way into the A site, and there's more than enough time for Team Heretics to make this pivot. Yeah, if Forsaken can catch a couple in mid, though.
Is he too far forward? Woot, I like the high-low setup. That is brilliant! Heretics always aware of the thrust up mid from the defenders. We've seen it all half so far.
That is a great double face there.
30 seconds left.
All right, now the little things are beginning to come together for Team Heretics, and we're finally seeing a PRX who were utterly dominant, now struggling a bit with some of their timings. Again, they refight into B before there's any attempt to get the spike down. That Hunter's Fury comes a little bit late, and Heretics just have their crosshairs placed on all of the angles that they could be pushing out from.
Devi's giving himself away. No reason not to fully commit to this one, but Esbu takes him out. 7-5 half for Heretics.
And as you mentioned, Heretics have or rather, PRX have a, what, 80+% win rate on attack Icebox. So, despite the 7-5, they are not out of the woods yet.
Close half, finally some light from Heretics. Stick around, we'll get a quick break and we'll be back with more Icebox.
That everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain-free? Count me in. Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec.
Lanjut.
Itu di
Lompat-lompat kali.
lompat pencet F di Z di atas.
Di mananya?
Coba nanti kita replay nanti. Ini di Twitch gak bisa di replay guys.
Oke, nggak apa-apa sih. Kita ada babang sih defense something. Dia kalau attacking baru bagus gitu attacking ini.
Vin, it's okay. Kita ada babang pucan di sini. Biasanya babang pucan kalau ada.
Enggak. Aku cuma nonton PRX doang, ngantuk gila. Aku harus ke gereja besok, boy. Jadi kalau bisa tidur cepat, aku tidur cepat, sumpah. Makanya aku pengennya PRX menang 2-0 supaya aku bisa langsung tidur cepat ini, guys. Abis lewat party kita bisa langsung off stream gitu. Aku belum mandi, baru pulang. Holy shit, MCL nggak bisa cuy.
Benji Fishy leading the way as far as the econ report goes.
Bentar ya guys, bentar.
Something in dire straits was investing into that operator, but wasn't extracting the most value from it. Had that one good round where he was able to catch a kill on the cross, but after that, for the most part, was being avoided. Team Heretics did a great job countering the play of PRX. Things began to get very disjointed on their refights. Heretics are looking good. Benji was absolutely the hero for them in that half. Started getting those highlights.
Dapat lewat akumulasi, Wak.
Team as well. When you see someone starting to hit like that.
15 and 6 after 12 rounds. Honestly, almost a mirror image of Forsaken's
Wah,
performance in the first half.
ya.
Very strong showing, and it was Benji's stalwart performance in mid that really helped PRX at bay. But PRX on the attack side of this map, really strong. 83% win rate through Pacific Stage 1. Lossless on this map.
We've seen when Heretics have had success on Icebox too. It's actually typically, as far as the scoreboard, Benji Fishy and Woot that are putting up the big numbers as Minibu draws a lot of that attention on the Neon. This is fast right now for PRX, collecting too early.
And this mid thrust here from Heretics might have fumbled. Rian's waiting. Whips in the night. Yet to leave poor, but eventually someone's going to raise anchor and get to it. Rian gives himself away. Jing wins it out. What an ill-fated encounter for Heretics, and it's up to Boo again. Boy howdy, what a mountain he has to climb. Spike, of course, already planted. This is what you ask for PRX fans. Getting off to a good start with a pistol win here.
All they've had are good starts. They've won every single pistol. If Team Heretics could win this map without either pistol round win, that would be a tremendous feat for them.
And they've shrunk, of course, the lead to a singular round. Once again, it's a short round, Wyatt. This early engagement here in mid. Jing sees action over on the B side, gets involved there, then whips around.
Last halipan kok.
That's an all-timer.
They know someone is there because he couldn't move forward.
His body blocked.
Hold up.
Let's go, boys! Woo! Our pistol got.
All right. PRX are just too good on these pistol rounds. It's going to be Miniboo investing actually into the Marshall for Heretics on that deep angle from Yellow over towards B. Pretty standard there with the shock and the molly to deny that early access to the orb from the defending team.
Benji is absolutely playing the most important position on the map. Just as we saw from something in the previous half. Unsurprisingly, Patman's moved up. Miniboo punished though on that little swing. They tried to set him up with a Marshall, but he will be ruined. Right over there, given no space at Yellow whatsoever, and Boo now is about to feel the net close in. Patman up walkway, sees that's okay. Up on the ledge he goes. Proud as a peacock, but Rian's find his brace of two. Once again, though, it's a heavily disadvantaged situation. Rian's desperately trying to avert an even game here. likely has too much on his plate. Devaya will silence him.
Fair enough, bringing the 3 most important rifles into the next round. Cash from the spike plan as well, so PRX will be more than happy with that. Team Heretics have done a nice job on these anti-bonus rounds. That has kept them in the game here. Otherwise, things would really
Attacker lu ye, attacker nih ye.
Nice shots from Rians, who is just
Jangan minta jadi defender dulu, bang. Jangan minta.
for Heretics. For me, really just
Attacker
has
dulu, bang.
all of the aspects of the game on lock. He can really do it all.
Like the Heretics team who said, we are not kids anymore, we're not rookies. There's no excuse for us to drop these important matches, and they've recovered well here on Icebox, but might be an inflection point lying here in this round as both sides have rifles. It's a very healthy bonus for PRX.
Taking the time at the moment, something has been allowed to take all the space and be made. Oh no, that
Oh,
is
there's something.
Boo just doesn't think that someone would be that close.
Last time it was Miniboo got caught out at yellow. This time, Boo has just got a little bit too close to the sun.
Swarm grenade out.
Bear in mind, this is Team Heretics with absolutely nothing left in the bank. This is must win at the moment, Patman. This fight is so awkward. That's as messy as it gets.
The late paranoia comes in, but Patman definitely supported in that engagement. Something eventually that was put to bed on the B side of the map, and this has precipitated a pivot. Now with mid control, PRX can go towards A and not worry about getting caught, but it's a pump fake.
What a timing for Patman to catch, and they have Forsaken playing towards A again. They could really pivot anywhere here. It's just, we're playing TDM. Who wins that out?
Patman the Viper.
This is a mental
The
realm.
stabilizing element of PRX, by the way, is just taking duels across the map. And he has opened it right on up for PRX. Miniboo has to play second fiddle now and try and make use of that mobility to cross the map. Woot is already set up in Crow's Nest, though.
Does have the wingman to actually pressure a defuse, force some people to swing out. Maybe that's a way in, find a pick.
A small gap in that mobility challenge. Woot has to drop down, and the spacing isn't quite there.
Makan lu ye.
Miniboo steps out only to be riddled with Vandal shots.
PRX are just so ready to swing together at any audio cue. Boo so frustrated in this moment, not expecting that anyone can be pushed up that close. Something got pulled out for free.
Oh man, that was... I mean, Benji's been credited with some very sharp moments, even on this map. Look at him shut down something as he crashed over towards belts that many rounds ago.
Team Heretics, they're bringing in 5 sheriffs, 5 regen armors. Obviously, they have the shooters to pull off a round like this.
Miniboo forced off pipes there. 410 smoked out, giving something a staging ground. Okay, all in rafters. Heretics committed to anchoring this site with these sheriffs. How far does their gun skill get them against a fully armed PRX team on a roll?
Listen, they've got the right stack to do it. The weapons were decent enough. Something shut down early. They're trying to get into this site. PRX Genius push.
Astaga.
Connect. Messy stuff. Divine Forsaken out. Got to pick it up.
Nice.
Forsaken. Quick response. And he doubles down. Oh,
He's susceptible to just one shot from it, but he's able to get out of the way. But again, read by Rians. He's too smart, too aware.
Huh?
Yeah, with the fury of Olympia. Now, Devi has to recover the spike and put this together. Both of his opponents, half armor and sheriffs. He is a Vandal
Wah,
doing
terujok ya,
You're a potential flank because you're out of range from the turret that was placed.
Kenapa dia?
Wants to double back now. 30 seconds to play with. Does he just try to clear this out, get back to A? Does he try to gun it to B? Yeah, he wants to leave. He wants to leave. He's hoping that in this situation, Team Heretics would just leave the 2 on A and then, you know, go for that advantage retake over towards B. But when the spike goes down, that will allow a rifle to be collected perhaps. Or no, they just want to go for this with the sheriffs. Rians does have a recon.
Devi has a turret to play contact off potentially. Does he have the time to set it up? Yes. Not too bad to have this Sentinel utility at your disposal in such an important clutch.
Look at Devi. He still has to be weary about this flank as Rians is making his presence known forward.
Trying to get ahead of the Owl drone. Does he have a timing on Boo? Spots him out. Utility hand. Devi is divine. What a Red Bull clutch to keep PRX well and truly on the tracks.
Team Heretics know that that round could have absolutely shifted the momentum, but it's a 4-round run for PRX now in this second half. Disaster for the European side. Forsaken comes up clutch with these 2 kills to get them back into the round.
Both random boosted pulling up their trousers, util in hand. Can't play off of each other at all. That is huge.
They feel like they didn't have the time to waste either to collect some of the rifles that were a little bit deeper on that A site. They go for it with the Sheriffs. Might be regretting that decision at this point.
Jeez, the tension there between Weber and Nelzinho, it's palpable. So another timeout here. The last one available to Heretics on this map.
That's an absolute heartbreaker. This is Heretics coming off of obviously a run to qualify here, but then getting blown out in the regional finals against Fnatic. Neil, the coach, saying that was the first time he felt disappointed in the team after that loss.
That hits heavy. They've been a team for a while. And you heard what he had to say. Just in that halftime break. Not looking themselves. Now they've managed to find their way back into the game, but yes, they've got a rifle round coming at you folks, but Hunter's Fury, Lockdown, Viper's Bit, 3 of the most impactful ultimates you could ask for PaperX. On the so far flawless attack side, they have 4 rounds in a row put together.
PaperX just have the easy 1-2 ult combo right now. Get the space with the lockdown, drop the pit, and they've even got the Hunter's Fury late if the spike is really being pressured by a Team Heretics retake. They've got 2 ults there. Close to, maybe they can get the sword, maybe Root finds the kill right, but you're asking about, oh my god, the early Hunter's Fury double connection!
Oh, that's devastating! This was the round and Heretics were trying to shore up their half the map. Benji at least is able to lean in, intercede to find a kill. That is an awful way to start with, and he's pinged out again. He's got to give this ground up. All of the A side now belongs to PRX. Look at the timing though. Heretics trying to get in ahead of this, but Miniview is shut down instantly. And Benji, beleaguered as he is, on all sides, guns are trained at the killjoy.
Yes.
And that was absolutely diabolical.
Something gets an amazing deep position there as well, all the way back. Rafter, that was eventually going to be the nail in the coffin, no matter what. I was talking about Forsaken. He could use that in a post plant or just get an immediate drone tag. Double hit. Jing takes all of the space that was created because of that as well. Oh my god, whatever they had planned in that round, couldn't even begin to guess. I mean, it was just out the window immediately.
That's as the Hunter's Fury comes in. You can see Weber just throw his head back. Okay, Heretics, credit to them. Still want to find a burst of speed here, but oh, the boys were waiting for you, Miniview. You were expected.
Yeah, just hoping the Forsaken would be in that closer tucked position that ICEO will often be in, but was safe, playing back for the multiple players to guard him.
Oh, it's just,
nice.
Just filthy.
Pushing Gamut.
You can't blame them. They've only got Sheriffs. PaperX have absolutely shut them down. Their economy is completely out of control. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. All right, thank you. We can't have 2 knives in the debut game.
Yeah, cure for hypotension.
We cannot do that.
So very quickly, those 2 rounds fall. Heretics back on a buy. Now with Thrash and Lockdown to work with. Like, I like the idea. Heretics obviously with a back-breaking round. They were virtually 2-dimensional after that one. Still want to go forward, play that PRX-esque aggressive B-side play, at least use their neon to get something. But man, I mean, PRX wrote the script for that. They were there when the deep magic was written.
6-round run coming into this with an 80+% win rate on attack. We're seeing exactly why. Deep recon is going to come through mid, and then something can swing off this with Patman. No one is going to actually be spotted by it. No, Benji caught, and there's a teleport into spawn. Disarray for Heretic.
Oh man, they're getting clowned on. This is the rifle round. They were trying desperately to bail water out of this quickly sinking boat. And they've already been cut down to 3 players, and Patman is on a timing, but there's an awareness here for Woot. He kind of knows it.
I was going to say, Patman, he's just in the walls at all times, but Heretics ready now. This is winnable.
Yep, something spotted out. Here comes a fast retake for Heretics. Good start. Forsaken dealt with Raptors control. Assumed Woot very sharp this round. Thrash here will look to find Divide, last standing member of PRX, and in midair he is detained. Heretics come up for air. It's a breather.
A brief respite.
Udah 2 kill duluan kalah, Wak.
On the side of PRX, they are bulging.
Desperately needed round win from Heretics. They're losing players early, and they still manage to pull it off. They do a great job getting back into that site together. The distraction from Rafters, and then you have Woot coming lower. I mean, the distraction. Benji knows he's in there, but just can't do anything about it. It's that moment where something tucked in that deep position again is forced to look towards Rafters. And Woot takes advantage of that distraction to get a free kill. This is going to be such an uphill battle for Team Heretics as they have to just face down a PRX that won't be saving anytime soon, if at all, this half.
It's possible Alex took exception with that round from PRX. I can't be sure. Oh, but he's not ready. He's clearing the recon, and Jing is just too far ahead of the play for him.
He just double teleports forward. He gets all of that space for free. You're never expecting it on defense.
Rian's has to salvage. The only player inside the A site for now, disrespecting the smoke at Rafters, and look at Patman. Pushed all the way up on B.
He's just got the craziest lurk timings. He's going to have to accelerate a bit. The Team Heretics try to get in off this fast lane. They're getting towards screens. It's slow right now. Relay Bolt doesn't hit something. Here comes the lockdown.
He's going after it. By hook or by crook. Something is looking for this, and there's Patman on the lurk timing. Oh, the lockdown is popped out from under Heretics.
I can't with this guy. He's crazy.
And now Heretics know they really can't play off the side. They've got to commit. They've got to challenge this. Not too shabby there from Miniboo, but Jing deigns to descend from the ivory tower to deal a death blow to the
This is winnable. Patman's too far away.
Can he get a touch? Unreal. The Red Bull clutch. A crucial one here for Woot as Wingman does. Unreal. Got to challenge this.
Background 2, cowok. Background 5.
They've got to commit. They've got to challenge this. Not too shabby there from Miniboo.
Wah, kena Miniboo 3 biji. Apa dia?
They've got to challenge this. Not too shabby there from Miniboo, but Jing deigns to descend from the ivory tower to deal a death blow to the
This is winnable. Patman.
Jing. Oh, ini nih.
Looks like he's already in the grave when he gets this third kill.
Astaga.
What is that, man? What is that?
So Heretics to their total. There's a lot of work still to do. We're going to have an early Viper spin on the B side of the map.
Yang 5 lagi 2 kali, cok.
No interest in challenging it early this round.
Batman wants to go on another wild adventure. Go up to, while the rest of the team are focused on Team Heretics triple stacked up. They go drone for drone. Oh my god, the last Hunter's Fury was really solid.
Nice schmooze there from Miniboo. Avoids what would have been a lethal connection. PRX had to be satisfied with a little bit of damage onto the Neon, but Miniboo also has that overdrive and already. Here's Jing again. They are never ready for Jing. From the top,
nice, Batman.
Able to find his. Rian's claps back now, has the drop to the side. This is good anchoring. Can he do something? No, the shorty. More than he can deal with. And Boo laboriously will drag himself across the map to challenge this.
Planted.
Jing has just been an absolute animal on both maps. Countless first kills.
Boo gives a double swing. He's going to have to deal with it. Oh, the King's Horses and Men emerge. Then the Viper is dealt with. Match point now comes up. PRX. There was a narrative, right, if you're a PRX fan? Or even a hater. You're familiar with the feeding narrative, but it's never been less true. With Patman joining this lineup, that stabilizing force. They've been so clean. They've strung together 6 attack side rounds as the half began.
Hampir anjing gak kena ngontek.
Heretics on defense have had absolutely no clue how to deal with Jing, getting in these absurd forward teleport positions. Playing with so much more aggression than you would typically see from Omens on this map. Something, connection. Wow, damage for damage.
Dimajuin, Cok.
Ice Fury now being deployed by Rians. What is there to find here? Comes up with nothing. Patman hears him. How is he here already? The conditioning utterly broken on the side of Heretics, and now it's up to Boo again. 30 points of health to try and slow the PRX train down.
Let's go!
Baby, we have more than left the station. PRX have arrived in the 6.
Track by
like
track.
Never been faster, actually. 13-1 on the first map. Dominant on map 2. Not one pistol round loss. All of the momentum throughout both of these games slowed down for just a moment, but they immediately bounce back and utterly crush Team Heretics in that second half of Icebox. Listen, we thought we were going to get a close banger game,
Gila,
but we got
Batman,
some exciting plays for sure from PRX. Highlight reel stuff coming out from Jing. Both maps, Forsaken, incredible on Pearl. Well, we got some exciting plays for sure from PRX. Highlight reel stuff coming out from Jing. Both maps, Forsaken, incredible on Pearl. Patman with some mental lurks. I don't think anyone expected this to be so dominant. This is PRX at their best.
Patman's reputation was the one that would keep it calm, keep his team in line, but instead he is dragging them, kicking and streaming straight down the throat of Heretics. And so history repeats itself once more. Wyatt, a tough loss suffered by Heretics at the hands of this phenomenal outfit. Forsaken shows us exactly what it was that got PRX to this game. And no one on the side of Heretics can deal with these timings that Jing is throwing at them.
Give it up for PRX! Guys, you know what? Celebrate with the fans. Celebrate with the fans. Enjoy this moment. But, hey, guys, is it okay if I steal Forsaken?
That's fine, that's fine.
All right. Hey, let's have a chat.